What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today we actually got this beautiful Rabbit Gray 2025 M3 here. You better watch out because the steering wheel might come off and get switched into my car. But today we already kind of got the entire bumper removed. I didn't record any of that, but that's because we're going to be switching out the factory grille and the factory vents with the new carbon fiber stuff. Carbon fiber vents here. This is the same stuff that I have on my car as well. So we know it looks good, we know it fits good. And then we have our CSL-style front grille here. And then I think at that point for the front end, the only thing he'll be missing is the front lip, which I think you're gonna do eventually. So he's over here supervising.
I'm doing all the hard work.
Yeah, he's recording. But yeah, this one should be pretty smooth. So now it's just a matter of actually switching out the front grille and the vents. And when I say the front vents are a little bit more tedious, this is what I mean. So there's this entire like bumper reinforcement bracket right here. Obviously it's nothing crazy, just like a plastic reinforcement, but this entire thing needs to come off. It's held on with a few extra bolts and then a bunch of these clips around the top edge here and the bottom edge. But once you have that off, you can kind of just unclip the stock vent and that should come off. And now this new one should fit right into place. Everything should line up perfectly. And so far it looks like it does. So we're just gonna press these in and then press in the new grille and then we'll do the vent on the other side. Just like that, we got vents on, grille is on. Now, let's go ahead. Get this thing back on the car, which is, I think, the most tedious part, but shouldn't be too difficult. Just like that, we got everything fully assembled again, and honestly, this is the quickest I've ever done it. Now we're good. The only thing that we're gonna do as the last step is get the new grille badge. So we're kind of gonna do what we did on mine, where we just rip off the factory badge, 3M tape it back onto the new one. And it's not like the best way to do it. I would probably recommend getting another badge, but it's the way I've been doing it. And no, you should. So that way you never have to mess this one up if you ever want to put it back on. That's why. But yeah, so. Yeah, both cars together looking real good. Yeah, you need one ASAP. But this is probably one of the top 5 colors for the G80s, and it's more on the like not poppy side like the green is, but I love it nonetheless. Go ahead, take the G80, mine at least, and show him what it feels like to be in fully tuned, like full bolt-on G80 compared to his stock one right now. But his is extra, mine is rear-wheel drive. So we'll see what he thinks about that as well. Now that we got him on his way, we brought the G80 back on the driveway and we're gonna start focusing on the E36 here again. I've been slowly prepping this thing for when the head comes back, and unfortunately there was some news that we had bent exhaust valves. So we had to order some new exhaust valves, drop those off at the machine shop so that they can install those. And we also needed new guides, I think. So all that's getting done. But in the meantime, we actually started cleaning up the block itself. If you guys remember how it looked, it is 10 times cleaner than before. We got a decent amount of the carbon buildup cleaned off the actual pistons themselves, and we got 90% of our face here cleaned up and ready to go. They're just like these small bits that we need to finalize around all the ports and whatnot. This is a very time-consuming process. So I've been doing a little bit every day, and while the head is still out, we've been slowly acquiring a bunch of our parts as well. A few extra minutes cleaning up just a little bit more, try to get it as clean as possible. And I think I made, what, like 3% more progress in the last 35-40 minutes. So yeah, it is a very painstaking thing to do, and no one told me how hard this was gonna be in the process, but luckily we got it done. So I made an executive decision and I returned the cams. Originally, I planned on going with a strict cam, getting a little bit of more power. Then I started doing some research into how much it actually adds, and it wasn't a lot. So I think without a tune, you're adding like 5 to 10 horsepower, and then with a tune, it's ideal to have larger injectors, which is like $300, a 3.5-inch high flow MAF sensor, which is another like $300, and then you're paying $300 to $700 for a new tune. Luckily, we already have headers, we already have an intake, so that already helps. But for me, spending all that money for such little power just didn't make sense. So instead, we spent the money on replacing a lot of our maintenance parts, so the car runs better than it did before. Now, I'm pretty proud of myself for making the grown-up decision here, but I think it was something that had to be done. So what we got is a whole slew of parts, and a lot of it is from FCP Euro, so shout out to FCP Euro. But we got obviously a new head gasket, so that's here. We didn't go with anything fancy, we just went with the L-ring head gasket that most people run. People say this is the better out of the bunch, so we went with that. We got new gaskets for the entire head, so new intake gasket. We got new exhaust gasket. We also got a bunch of other, so this is the water flange gasket, the piece that I want to clean up, that's the gasket for that. We got some ARP head bolts. These are a must when you're rebuilding a head. So we went to ARP just so we have it done, get it out of the way. And then we got a bunch of other miscellaneous stuff like the cam sensor, crankshaft sensor. What is this? Oh, we got some knock sensors in here as well. So yeah, a bunch of stuff that we're just gonna be replacing. Again, my main goal here was to get this car running better than it was before. So we're doing all the maintenance. We're gonna make sure that this car is sound and good to go to be a daily driver if I wanted it to be. So that's kind of why we spent so much money on maintenance stuff and not throwing some new cams in there, which I would have loved to, but it is what it is. It's all part of the game. So random change of plans. The other G80 owner left. I posted on my story that I was working on his car. Another person went ahead, swiped up and said, can you do mine? And I said, sure, come on through. So now we have another G80 coming to the garage to get work done on his car. And it's gonna be the exact same thing. It's gonna be a front grille and then the vents as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same process again, and I'll show you guys the end result. The funniest thing is we actually have another Dravit Gray G80, but this one is actually on Silverstone interior, which is probably my favorite interior other than the orange. But we're on super fast timing today. We got the bumper already off, and this thing has intakes from Berger Motorsports. I've never actually seen those in person, but I always hear good things about those. And yeah, this thing took all of 10 minutes to get off. So now it was just a matter of opening up the boxes, getting the new grille in, and this car should be on its way as well. So we ran into a slight issue, and I started putting the bumper back on, and that's because the grille that we ordered actually was for a G80 that has the cruise control module down there, so it had a missing piece. So we started putting everything back together, but then I remembered I have an extra carbon grille sitting inside the house. So we'll probably just use this one for the time being, and he'll go ahead and replace that one. And that way he can actually head home with a carbon grille, and I don't have to put the bumper on for absolutely no reason. So super clutch that we had an extra one sitting around. So we got the old grille out, new carbon one is going in, and I feel like you guys have seen this same grille like 18 times already, but this thing is gonna just get pressed right into place. Fitment's good, so shouldn't have any issues. And then we're gonna hold off on the vents. We're gonna order some new vents to make sure that we're matching up the weave with the carbon grille. So we'll just do the grille today, and then potentially see this car again for the vents on both sides, and then maybe even this right here. So yeah, for now, let me go ahead and finish the grille and get this thing back on the car. And now we got the finished product. Yeah, still looks good, even though we didn't do the vents just yet. Still looks good, and he does have the front lip, so that's a plus. But yeah, time to throw this thing back in the car And whenever you guys are doing this, just make sure you guys are snugging the grill up against the actual bumper as much as you can, because sometimes you can actually see gapping across the outer edges. So you kind of really have to push it in there to get good fitment. Just like that, another G80 done. Honestly, that one was even quicker than the last one, so we're just getting better at the process. But yeah, I'm tired. We're gonna call it a day here. Appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.